I don't know, Luke, if you've done any polling on this, but you've always got your ear to the ground, finger on the pulse, whatever part of your anatomy we want to choose first, and I'll probably end it there. What's the mood? What's the mood out there as regards Sir Keir? He's probably got until, what, Christmas or the budget or something? Luke, what do you say? Good morning.
Well, look, good morning, Nick. We know that Keir Starmer's popularity tumbled very quickly on entering office. And unfortunately for the Prime Minister, it's sort of just carried on getting lower. And last week hit another low in our tracking. We had him at minus 44 net approval, so very deeply under water there. And when you talk to people in focus groups now, I would say, whereas previously I think it was more early disappointment, but we'll give him a bit of a chance, people are now starting to say, can he do it? Can he turn things around? Now, I wouldn't say people have written him off entirely, but I think the past couple of weeks, the sort of phase 2, 3, 4, whatever we are in now, haven't done anything to restore his standing with the public. And I think he's going to need party conference and the budget to be turning points if he is going to reboot his premiership.
What's cut through the bubble the most? Is it the Deputy Leader? Is it Lord Mandelson? Is it what would appear to be currently the failure of one in, one out and the boats? What would you say? All of the above, possibly.
Yeah, no, it is slightly a little bit, but I would group them together in a sense that we are back to government as chaos. We remember, one of the reasons that people were so keen to get the Tories out was this sense that it was just one thing after another. They were addicted to drama. They basically weren't running the show. They were dealing with themselves. What we're now starting to see is people saying, oh, this Labour government is the same. They've lost their deputy leader, they've lost their US ambassador, they're fighting amongst themselves. And that has a second effect, because what that does is it essentially de-risks reform. Because the biggest argument against reform is they're untested, who knows what they do. But of course, now we get people in focus groups saying, well, the other two aren't particularly stable or good, so why don't we roll the dice on something new? And I think that is the biggest danger for the government, this sense that government just isn't working.
All right, Luke Tryl, keep your nose to the ground, your nose to the grandstone, whatever else, your finger on the pulse. Luke Tryl, UK Director of the More in Common Polling Organisation, just coming up on 14 minutes after 8. Listening to that is Sebastian Salek, who's a former political journalist with Bloomberg, now Labour councillor in Waltham Forest, so congratulations on that, councillor. OK, you are part of the party. You're a journo. You're not going to say there isn't a drama going on, or if you are, I'd be very surprised. What should be the future course for the Labour Party? Morning, councillor.
Morning, Nick. Yeah, I think it would be fool's gold to think about Andy Burnham. I can see why he's so attractive. And look, I think he's a very effective politician. I have no quarrel with him as a man, as an operator. The issue is he looks attractive because he's untarnished by what's going on in Westminster. He's up in Manchester, doing very well by all accounts, but he's not getting stuck in with what's going on in London. It would be a backward step. If you bring in a new leader, you have to most often tear up the agenda previously and start again from scratch. I don't think we can afford to lose 14 months of progress, and I don't think that the public deserve that. The issue here really is that we haven't really recovered from 2008. There are 16 or 17 years of damage to get through, which sadly the Tories didn't manage to address adequately, which is why we're here. And we need all the time we can get. Fortunately, there is a 5-year term on this Labour government, and I just hope that we can see within that period, within that slightly longer term, those green shoots of growth coming through.
Councillor, there is a lot to what you say, but we're not... The problems that Sir Keir faces now, whatever the Conservatives... that losing his deputy leader, losing the ambassador in Washington, those are decisions he took, nothing to do with the 14 years of Conservative misrule, as you would say. Come on, we have to address those, don't we, councillor?
Well, let's separate the two. The Angela Rayner situation was nothing to do with Starmer. Remember, he didn't appoint her. She was independently elected by members. Yes.
He said he had confidence in her and she was gone 2 days later, councillor.
That's true, but we were waiting for the outcome of the ethics report. And as soon as that report dropped, she went. And I think that's worth giving some credit for. The ministers, when they go in this government, they go very quickly, which wasn't the case.
Quite a rate. Quite a rate. The homelessness minister who had to go because she evicted tenants to put the rent up. You've only been in 14 months. It took 14 years for the other lot to look this hopeless.
Well, look, I think everybody who resigned was right to resign, but the fact is they went quickly. They weren't clinging on like Priti Patel after that, breaking the ministerial code for bullying civil servants, Boris Johnson coming out to defend her. There was a certain level of class we're seeing from this government where when someone does something wrong, they pay the price very quickly and we move past it. And I hope that we can do that with Mandelson, put a line under this and get on with what the public really want. I think if you're sitting there, your wages haven't grown since 2008, you're anxious about putting on the heating in a few weeks' time, you don't care what's going on over in the US. You want to know what's happening for me. How am I going to improve my standing?